As you can see, I'm inside. The weather has been pretty cold again, and we decided to paint the van, which means that we have to get all the interior, the walls out, paint them, let them dry. And this week I really want to get a good feel for the art direction. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be complete. I just need to find a style and test it a little bit so that I know I like it, I know I can produce it, and I know roughly how difficult it is to produce at scale. So I made 3 columns. The first one is inspiration for the blacksmith shop. The style isn't what's important here, but more like the elements and how the blacksmith shop is built. Then I have a column for the style inspiration, so different voxel art rooms or settings, and then a bunch of characters. So what I like about this one is just that it all fits in one screen. The style isn't important now, but it has like a couple of items here. It has the furnace, a bit of a storage room up here, the counter, the anvil. So it's all there. It's all a nice little composition in one shot. On this one, I just really liked how the room is layered and broken up into different levels and corners and everything. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 separate areas at least in this, and it's all nice and tight in one shot. On this one, I really just like the architecture, like these heavy beams here. Yeah, so let's go for the style. So here we have this 3D, 2D mashup. I like the level of detail he has get going, like, you know, a little signpost by the door, but you can't like read it. Like you have like people playing cards. That could be a nice little detail. What I would probably drop is organic stuff like this here that feels a little bit too much noise. It distracts the eye quite a bit, and I'm doing a game, so I want everything to be quite readable. I love this one, the style here. I think that is an amazing level of detail, using actual 3D detail for the rough shapes, and then using, for example, here you see this is probably supposed to be a ladder or a stairwell or something, and then just using different colors to indicate the steps. And I think this is probably my favorite in terms of style. Again, a lot of detail, fairly readable, and it feels just like a nice open space. Okay, let's go for the characters. I like these for how scalable they are, right? It's again like one character shape and then just like bunch of different armor and gear, and the main shape never really changes, so this could be something that you can do procedurally. I don't love the designs themselves. I think like the face has a bit of a weird shape, like super long nose sticking out and all that, so I think that I would probably change. Really like these clear outline, like the eyes are very prominent, but still room for modifying and creating variation in the items, in the gear. So that could work really well. Similar, like different face. I think these up here may be a bit more expressive because the eyes are so big. But I also like this. I kind of like these. They're pretty unique. Maybe not as readable. So yeah, I think gives us a pretty good idea of where we want to go. Currently, I'm in the stage of figuring out what the game will be, what it can be, what I want it to be. And that means I'm doing a lot of different kinds of prototyping. So last time I've been working mostly with cards to figure out whether I can find some gameplay for the crafting that I like. This week it's all about doing some prototyping around the visuals, finding a style, seeing if I like it, if I can scale it, those kind of things. And I anticipate there will be several more weeks, if not months, trying to piece everything together on a prototype level. Because the one thing I've learned that I think is super key, and probably not enough people do this, is really extensively prototype all the major components of your game. Because games are so big and so many things layer over each other, there's always that next thing to do, right, and to finish. You always feel like, oh, if I just have that extra bit of functionality or visuals in here, I think everybody gets it rationally, but what you don't feel until you've done it a couple times is how much cheaper mistakes and discovery. Right now it's very easy for me to say, and I'll invest a couple of days in fooling around with a couple of different visual styles, and then I produce a couple of art assets with it, and if it doesn't work, I'll scrap it and I'll try something else. If I fall in love with something and I'll just go with it for a while, and then I realize, oh, this is actually really hard to produce, so I can't keep this up at scale, and then I have to throw that all away, it's costly. I'm trying to find a way that the character and the environment mesh better. Even though the characters are completely flat, they really blend into the environment. I think I'm still too far away from that. I feel the character is a fair bit different from the environment. I think I'll start to give it more detail, because the character I think has a higher detail level than the rest. Yeah, this already feels better to me. I'll try to remove the outline from the character now. See how it looks. Make the beard a bit more. Okay. I mean, this to me starts to feel good. Let's render it. I'm quite happy with this week, how it went. It started off slow due to the weather, but it came to a really nice result, I think. There's a lot more room for work and prototyping and exploration in the art direction, but I think it's like, it gives me enough confidence to move on for now. And I want to go back and revisit the gameplay mechanics next week. Take the crafting I came up with last time and connect that to the outcome, to close that feedback loop, so that when you have created things, you will also get feedback on basically how valuable that was or how good that was. I don't yet know whether I will do it on the by including enemies and heroes and all that, or whether I'll just integrate some sort of a goal. So I need to figure that out. We'll think about it a little bit.